Hello and welcome back for a new episode of Covering Coven, a show dedicated to discussing last night's episode of American Horror Story Coven. I am your moderator, and here are our panelists.
Hi, I'm Alexis Saarela.
Hey, I'm Allison Ullrich.
Hi, I'm Megg Hochbaum.
Hello, I'm Sasha Capelli.
And this week we also have a guest panelist joining us. Gail, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. It's great to be here.
So this week in The Dead, Zoe keeps herself very busy at the academy, teaching both Kyle and Spaulding to talk, conspiring with Cordelia, and then rewarding herself for all her hard work. Meanwhile, things heat up between Fiona and the Axeman, and Queenie tests her limits with the friendship with Delphine. But I'm going to kick off the discussion by throwing out the question, what is the deal with Madison? What does she remember before her murder? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
I feel like she doesn't really remember much. I mean, she kind of just, I like the idea that she's, like, living in this, like, empty, sad world. She reminded me of Winona Ryder from Beetlejuice, like, just, like, wandering around in the darkness and so sad. And who called it with the Franken couple? That was perfect.
I did.
That was amazing, Allison.
I know.
It took me a minute. I was like, oh, totally, Franken couple. That makes the most sense. I didn't think Franken threesome, but I did. Franken couple was a good call.
Well, it actually really reminded me of when Buffy died in one of the last seasons of Buffy, and her friends brought her back, and like she just had this ennui because she, I mean, in that case, death was better. She was in a great place. In this case, Madison says there was nothing, dark blackness, like, which makes her even more depressed.
Depressing.
I kind of want to know the rules of what happens when you die like that, 'cause she still seems to know everybody, and, like, she knows home.
But she didn't remember bringing Kyle back either, though. For some reason, she had lost memory of things that happened right before she was killed, so that was weird. She's like, who is this? Oh, yeah, Kyle.
That's true.
So now, how are we feeling about what Queenie did last night? Delphine did some terrible, terrible things way back when, and they're kind of above and beyond what Queenie just pulled, but at the same time, I'm finding myself not knowing if I could ever forgive Queenie for this. Alexis, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it is interesting. Like, I feel like the show has really set up Delphine in the present as this kind of, like, lovable racist character. Like that scene when they were having the food in the car, and Queenie said, I can't believe I'm friends with an immortal racist. But the fact is, she is a horrible, horrible, horrible person, and we saw that most recent flashback when she said the worst thing she ever did. And I have to say, like, I don't think you can come back from that. I don't think she can be redeemed, and I think Queenie knows that, and that's why she did what she did.
Yeah, I agree. I, like, in the beginning of the episode was kind of like, why are we, like, LOLing with Kathy Bates and, like she did like, out of everyone that we've seen on the show, she's done the worst things that, like, we've been shown. So, like, I mean, Kathy Bates is, like, adorable and great, but, like, I was like, no, Queenie should, like, really hurt her. Like, there should be some really big problems and some crazy torture scenes. So I actually thought it was, like, light-handed on the revenge kind of voodoo thing so far.
I feel a little differently about it. I think they're setting up this really interesting dichotomy. Like, at some points in your life, in anybody's life, you've done terrible things. I mean, it does take it all the way to the extreme. But she's looking for some sort of redemption, and she's saying, I have with that wide-eyed, I have a friend, and it was a different time, and it was, you know, it's a very complex thing. But the Queen, I was completely shocked that she took it all the way there. That she was ready to, I'll be the one to do. I would be glad to cut her or slice her up. You know, that was sort of. Wow. Okay, Queenie, you're really gonna go there. Wow. You know.
Yeah. Also, not
it's also a little. Go for it.
Oh, I'm just gonna say she's betraying, you know, the witches that we haven't seen them be that bad to her. I mean, they seem like they've been reaching out to her. Even, you know, Fiona has even promised her she might be the Supremes. That's
but Fiona was lying, bold-faced lying.
Oh well, yes.
And I think the Queenie characters also. If I can just interject another thing, the thing that started to kind of rise for me last night was this sort of all of the characters, a lot of the characters are searching for something, a deep like need that wasn't being met. So for Queenie, she wants to belong somewhere. You know, she wants to deeply belong somewhere. And I don't know if I belong with these witches, and I don't know if I belong with you in the voodoo, and I don't. She's searching for this place to belong.
So next up, we've been talking about the topic of loyalty all season long, and in the Dead more so than ever, people are really choosing sides. Meg, what do you think about the teams that started to come together last night?
Well, I didn't believe the Queenie and Delphine thing for a second, and I wanted to for whatever reason, but I figured that'd be a weird one to take it, and then all of a sudden she's turning her in. But is she really forming an alliance with Marie? Because Marie puts it in her head, you know, if we put your voodoo power with your witch, you can't be stopped by them. I'm thinking she might put that in her head that she can't be stopped by anybody, so she might rise above any kind of supreme situation. And then it's also kind of weird with Fiona and the Axeman. I mean, you wouldn't see that necessarily being any kind of an alliance, but especially if we thought he was a witch hunter last week. But all of a sudden this week, she's telling him in next week's episode, like, I'm going to stay alive just to spite them. So it sounds like she's feeling teamed up against, and so she's going to make this alliance with somebody who's trying to kill her kind. So I kind of want to see where that's going to end up going.
I did love that she knew about the dead body the whole time in the bathroom.
I love that too.
Yeah.
I wonder how everybody is going to come together also, because I believe there's, 4 teams that we see kind of assemble, and of those 4, 3 of them all have the same goal now, and it's to take out Fiona. So is there going to be a big army against Fiona, and they're all going to come together?
But I mean, I like everybody fighting in the Coven, but I'm also kind of bummed because they should all be banding together.
And I don't buy Zoe as the super bitch all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden she's
yeah.
So in this week's viewer comment section, we're going to launch into the topic brought up by 2 people. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but TBX Master X, who I'm just going to call TB Master, and Jay Hillhouse. After it was revealed that Marie Laveau is not responsible for the acid incident, Jay Hillhouse wondered who is, and then TB Master went as far to say, it's obvious that Fiona threw the acid on Cordelia's face to accuse Myrtle and burn her. She needed that to get rid of MS. While that does kind of make sense, it also just can't be possible because we saw Fiona sitting at the bar when Cordelia was attacked, but then again, that also doesn't mean that Fiona couldn't have commissioned someone to do it for her, but I'm kind of leaning away from that. Ladies, what do you guys think?
I don't think that's the case because now Delia's got a new power where she can see everything that Fiona's done wrong, especially in killing Madison. So I don't think Fiona would want her to have found that out.
The crazy thing is, though, the only thing she hasn't seen is who did that to her.
So she hasn't been in touch with whoever it is yet, as soon as she touches that person. So who has she not touched yet?
Well, she didn't get a chance to touch Myrtle. The neighbor. Oh.
Neighbors.
Yeah, still the neighbors.
Maybe, Nan.
I was just going to say that. Maybe Nan.
Did that just come out of nowhere?
Yeah.
No, I said it last week. I said because Nan could, see or she's clairvoyant. Maybe she knew that by getting splashed with acid that Delia would be able to see everything else and have the second sight. So maybe she did it to do it as a favor. Totally.
Where was Nan this episode? I missed her.
I know.
Yeah. She was over at the neighbor's house the entire time.
Well, that's kind of appropriate because now for rapid fire time, the point where we speculate on what's to come in the next episode, for me it's the neighbors, and I'm wondering, where are they? And, of course, where is Nan? Does that mean she is hanging out with Hot Neighbor Boy, making a team all on her own? I'm kind of hoping that Nan's absence in this episode means that she's got something brewing, and perhaps what we just discussed could be it. Sasha, what are you looking forward to next week?
I'm actually really excited to see where all of this Fiona jazz comes because we've been kind of backstorying this cancer thing where she's losing her hair and apparently in the previews she just goes all full on sick. So I'm interested to see how she survives because cancer's attacking her and she hasn't figured out how to fix that, and B, if she's really just the one that everybody's gonna kind of band together and go against. Maybe Marie will even team up with some other witches. Maybe Zoe will go onto the voodoo side, which I don't doubt yet because Zoe is all of a sudden this super crazy witch bitch. So she may go over to Marie too. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with the the threesome, the Franken menage a trois that's going on. And so if Zoe sleeps with Kyle, is she going to kill him? I mean, he has already been dead. And because it's two people that have been dead that she's basically hooking up with now, will she be able to control them since she's got all these new powers?
So, Meg, what about you?
I mean, I think somebody mentioned it last week. Nobody can ever really die, so I'm pretty sure Spaulding has to come back because Myrtle and Misty are teamed up now. So Misty's definitely going to bring him back for Myrtle's sake, and then we'll hear what he has to say, probably. So that's what I think I'm looking forward to most.
Alexis, what you got?
Well, I want to see. I'm curious how Queenie's powers are going to grow now. I'd like to see, like, if Marie really becomes like a mentor figure for her, and how that's going to go. Also, I, of course, as we all are, so excited for Stevie Nicks.
Coming up, Stevie Nicks.
And last, our wonderful guest, Gail. What are you looking forward to in the episode to come?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to seeing a little bit more interaction with the male characters as well, to see what they're bringing. The assassin husband that's sitting there surrounded by all of that weaponry.
Oh my God! All of a sudden he's like packing mad heat. Like that was kind of badass.
And it was such a simple thing. It's sort of this tossing in kind of. She goes, "Go to sleep," and she hangs up the phone. He's just like, "Oh." It's just so there's so much. There's so many layers to these characters and where it can go. So yeah.
So that's all the time we've got for episode 7. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shock Till You Drop. Watch the next episode of American Horror Story Coven on December 4th. There's no new episode next week due to the holiday. And then join us for the discussion the day after it airs. Also, don't forget to let us know what you think and leave a comment because we'd love to talk about what you're interested in right here on the show. Thanks for covering Coven with us. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.